Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montavilla Sewing Center and we're going to talk about the Baby Lock Victory. By the way, this machine is very similar to the Baby Lock Imagine, so if you have a Baby Lock Imagine serger, then a lot of what we're talking about today will apply to your machine. So to start out, we're going to do our overview. We have over here where you plug in your machine. Up above we have the power switch. Here's the hand wheel. And remember, with a hand wheel, you turn it towards you, just like on a regular sewing machine. Over here, we have the differential lever. It's going to be put up here to 2 or down here to 0.06. And normally, you want to put it right here at N for normal. Then over here, we have the accessory tray. So you open it this way, and you can put some accessories in here. I suggest putting in here the accessories that you use the most, like your tweezers and your brush and things like that. Then you have your spool pins with your cone holders, and you want to make sure those are on there well. They hold the large end of the spool right there like that, nice and evenly. Up here we have the thread tree. It can go down or come up. You want to make sure it's fully extended when you thread your machine. And then we have threading guides. Here is your presser foot pressure. You can make it tighter or looser depending on your sewing conditions. I would just leave it right here at neutral for most sewing. Over here we have a thread cutter, just for cutting your threads when you're done sewing. In the back we have the presser lifter. And this is your presser foot. It has a spring that holds the front part of the foot down firmly against the feed dogs. It also has a quick release lever, so you can change that foot or move it out of the way for cleaning purposes. I'm going to put that back on there, lower it down, there it's back on. Here, of course, we have the needles and the threading guide for the needles. Here we have the needle threader. Now this has an actual needle threader, which makes threading your machine pretty easy. Now we have the doors that open up like this. We have here the subsidiary looper. It's for doing specialty stitches, but that's what it's for. We have the upper looper, lower looper, the blades, the upper blade and lower blade, and they work kind of like scissors. They cut the fabric as it's being sewn so that you have a nice clean edge right before it makes stitches and overcasts your fabric. Here we have the cutting width, and as you can see, the knives are moving to the right on the larger number and to the left on the lower number. I like having it right there at M. M for medium, middle of the road, whatever you want to call it. And there's the indicator right there. Here we have the little switch for lowering the upper knife so that it's not cutting the edge of the fabric. Nice thing about having this upper knife kind of stick up a little bit is now if you're going to serge the edge of some fabric, that acts as a guide to run the edge of your fabric. So you get a nice straight even seam. To re-engage it, just turn that back, take a few stitches, and it comes right back up. Down here we have the stitch length. Now most of the time you want to have it on 3, the little indicators right up above there. 3 is a normal garment stitch length. You can make it longer or shorter if you want to. And then, you notice it says standard and rolled hem. So if you want to do rolled hem, you roll this past 0, and that moves a stitch finger out of the way, the right handmost stitch finger out of the way, and you can do a fairly short, close together rolled hem, or one that's fairly long. But if you're doing regular 4-thread serging, you want to make sure and have this in standard. And right about at 3. Yeah, there we go. And then we have the threading ports and the threading mechanism, which I'm going to show you in a future video as to how this works. But just to give you an overview, here's the left and right switch, or the lower upper looper switch for threading your loopers, which is a really cool thing about this. And this is, instead of having the thread tension dials up here, you have this little switch here for depending on what kind of serging you're doing. And I'll explain that a little bit later, but this is how you would move that. And in order to move this, you do need to open the door in order to access this little lever here. The kind of needles that you need are right here, HA by 1SP. It says that right there. And yeah, okay, and then I think, oh, and this is a really neat little guide. I'm going to show you about threading, but you do have an overview of the threading right here on the front of your machine. So that is the Baby Lock Victory, and stay tuned for more videos. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up in the comments below, and you can leave a comment there or a question if you like. See you later.